federal incentives for traineeships and apprenticeships have been around for 25 years, 26 years actually, and they really haven't changed in all that period of time. So the federal incentives have always been around the 4,000 mark, and that is a payment of $1,500 at the 6-month point, which is commencement payment, and then the balance of the $2,500 on completion. Fortunately, just recently in October last year, the government decided to, as a result of COVID and the trying to stimulate the economy, they decided to increase the funding attached to apprenticeships and traineeships and offer a wage subsidy. Now, this is the most significant funding we've ever seen, and that is up to a $28,000 wage subsidy for each individual trainee or apprentice, and that's 50% of their wage for a 12-month period from their commencement date. So that's very significant. If they earn, I guess, less than $56,000, there is less that you would attract, but whatever that is, it's 50% of that trainee or apprentice's wage subsidised for the first 12 months. That is something I would encourage employers to get on board quickly with. It is due to finish at the end of March next year. So if you are thinking about taking on an apprentice or trainee, I would encourage you to look at that now and make that decision and set it up prior to the end of March next year. The state government also came to the party with some incentives recently. There was payroll tax exemption in the past for all apprentices and trainees. That changed a couple of years ago, and it was replaced for trainees with the Jobs and Skills Employer Incentive. So the state government still offers payroll tax for apprentices, so that you don't pay payroll tax on apprentices' salary. That didn't change. Trainees, you do pay payroll tax. However, it will be offset with this incentive, which is the Jobs and Skills Employer Incentive. That varies according to the nominal term of the traineeship or apprenticeship, but it will be up to $8,500. That again, similar to the federal incentives, are in 2 instalments, one at the beginning and one towards the end, and it's 50% each side. In the civil construction space, we're fortunate that we have the Construction Training Fund, which some of you may be aware of. That is very significant funding that has always been available, and that is up to $16,000, and it depends on a range of factors like the qualification, whether it's in a regional area, and factors like that. So certainly there is a lot of funding, both state and federal, currently attached to apprenticeships and traineeships, which employers can tap into and help offset the cost of training. Okay, I'm going to take you through a couple of case studies just to give you an idea of how this works from a financial perspective. So the first one is on a civil construction traineeship, and that is the Certificate 3 in Civil Road Construction and Maintenance, and it's a 24-month program. I might mention that traineeships can be entirely on the job, unlike apprenticeships, which generally require time away from the workplace. Generally, the training company will come and support the trainee on the job through the whole program. So Bob's Road is an employer that we've chosen, and the trainee is Dan Fielder, who's 22 years old. The federal government will pay their 2 incentive payments, completion and the commencement and completion, as well as the full wage subsidy, which is the quarterly instalment of the $7,000 over that 1 year, the first year. The Construction Training Fund offers $11,000, so the base grant plus it is considered mature age, and there is a trade bonus as well. Mature age, it's misleading. 21 and above is considered mature age for this sector. Some people can dispute that, but it's what is considered mature as a trainee or apprentice. So that is a significant contribution, mostly a lot of it in the first year, of $43,000 for taking on that trainee over that 2-year period. The next one we'd like to just advise everyone that it's not just the blue collar trades that we can do traineeships for in the civil construction space. We do have white collar trades such as business admin. So for example, we've got Dave's Traffic Management, who has Steph, who maybe is the administrator who controls all the shifts, the workers, and does accounts and answers the phone. She can do a Certificate 3 in Business, which is a 12-month program. The federal government will fund her program again with the 2 incentive payments totalling $4,000 plus subsidise her wage at 50% over that 12-month period. The state government will pay the Jobs and Skills Incentive for the traineeship, which is $2,125, giving a grand total of $34,125 towards the cost of training for business training. So that's certainly also a significant contribution to taking on that new staff member. Finally, we'll talk about the actual trade apprentice. We have a construction company taking on an electrician, and that's James, who's 22 years old. The 4-year trade for electrician is the longest trade that we have. It's also one of the most challenging. The federal government will pay the incentive payment of the $4,000. He's considered mature in this space, another $4,000, plus the wage subsidy of the $28,000 in that first year. So that's $36,000 from the federal government. The construction training fund gives him additional $11,000 for the apprentice training. And that's a total of $47,000 towards training that electrician. So that's also really significant. In the past, it was $4,000 for the whole 4 years. So I think the federal government has really boosted that through that wage subsidy. So I guess that has covered the financial component. Now I'd just briefly like to talk to you about the apprenticeship community and how we support employers going through this process. Our role is really to make the whole process easy for you. So from the moment you're interested in learning more about the programs, what's available to you, more specific information about the incentives, who qualifies, how it all works, we'll come out and make an appointment, come and see you and have a talk with you through what your objectives are, what kind of roles you're looking to use traineeships or apprenticeships for, and advising you on the best program to suit your needs. We then will help you navigate through the actual setting up and the lodgement process. So contracts are done on site in person with our staff member. So we'll come out to you, we'll help you fill out all the forms, we will lodge them with both governments on your behalf. We also advise on various training companies that would then deliver the training. So you have choices around that and connect you with those training companies. We obviously actually pay the federal incentives, so the government gives us the money and we direct credit that to you once you've submitted the relevant forms and claims, and we connect you with the CCF to get those claims as well. The state government is self-service, so we will advise you how to create your profile in order to claim state funding. We also have, we're actually, apart from that whole sign-up and advice service, as I said before, we're with the companies and the individuals through the whole journey. So we have a lot of other support services that we offer to apprentices and trainees and their companies. So the first one I'll talk to you about is Your Recruiter. That is a free recruitment service. So if you don't have someone in mind for the roles that you're looking to use traineeships or apprenticeships for, we can actually provide you with a free recruitment service to help you find that candidate. What we do is we have a pool of candidates already on our books. We have people interested in construction careers. So in the first instance, we'll go to those pool and we'll look for any suitable candidates that would suit the attributes that you're after and present them for you for interviews. We'll also go to market and lodge ads on our jobs board and go to some of our employment stakeholders to find suitable candidates, which we will then shortlist, pre-screen and even work preference test to find out whether they're going to be suitable for a construction career. And then we will present a shortlist for your business to interview and then select. That is the value of that service, I haven't put an actual price on, but it's significant. We feel that part of the success of apprenticeships and traineeships is to get the right person for the right job. And we like to advise our candidates what is involved in that career so that we know that they understand what type of work they're getting into, and also that their personal work preferences are suitable for doing that type of work. So we use psychometric testing, and we will put people through those tests and present candidates that we feel are suitable for the role, which makes companies' jobs a lot easier to help select the right candidate. We also have the out of trade register. That is, so displaced apprentices go on our register. So if there are apprenticeship offerings coming up, we can put someone who's a first, second or third year up for those roles to pick up where they left off and continue on their trade journey. We also have a free service for employers that don't have very much experience in learning about the industrial relations side of employment. We have a partnership with Employers who will provide free advice for apprentice and trainee wages. A lot of small businesses find that really useful to make a call and find out what to pay their apprentice or trainee, and that's really helpful for them. The other type of support that we offer is really critical, I think, in this day and age. We've got a Good to Go initiative, which is a mental health in the workplace awareness program. We have partners, Mates in Mining, Mates in Construction, where we do general awareness training for mental health issues affecting the construction industry. So Mates in Construction come and deliver that at our office once a quarter, and our companies will attend just to have an idea about the challenges facing the construction industry with regards to mental health. We also hope that companies take Mates in Construction back into their business and look at creating that general awareness about mental health issues in construction. Most of our company representatives that come to a session will engage with Mates in Construction and go further for their entire business, not just for their apprentices and trainees. So we're really excited about that partnership. For those of our companies that aren't in construction, we do have a partnership with Black Dog Institute, who provide access to some online resources for any individual struggling with mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. They can go through some online programs with the Black Dog Institute. We'd like to see people alleviate as many challenges that they have in their apprenticeships and traineeships to see them gaining a successful career, and that's sometimes not just about the training. Many other life factors can influence whether or not people have a successful traineeship journey, and a lot of our value adds are created to help with that. We also have a lot of e-resources. So the last dot point on that slide is an employer toolkit. So that's really to help employers create a mentally healthy workplace, and that's through their supervisors and various tips and tricks on how to make people feel comfortable if they have any challenges and how to raise them and make that a seamless process. The other type of support is other sort of e-learning that we offer, and that is an ebook on how to recruit and retain apprentices and trainees. It's just a guide which people can refer to. Sometimes many supervisors have never had an apprentice or trainee before. It's the first time they've had to nurture and support a younger person, and there is that resource will cover all sorts of things that people can do to make that a